Go Blue, everyone. Ron Bellamy's back, and I'm happy about it. Also, Witt scores his first major new recruit in the 2027 class, front office moves, and so much more. Spring intel. It's all coming up next on a jam-packed episode of Michigan Wolverines Live. And welcome back to another episode of Michigan Wolverines Live, presented by FanDuel. That's right, folks. My name is John Diadamo, and I'm going to take you through the next hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, maybe more. You can follow me on Twix at John Diadamo. As you join us, don't forget, we're live on YouTube. We're live on X. We're live on Twitch, but we also sound good on radio. So check us out on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeart. And it means the world if you hit the like button on your way in. It's free. It just takes a second. Subscribe and also share the link out all over the universe if you can. It's great help all around. If you want your comment or question to be read on screen, you're definitely going to want to super chat today, because we have a lot of topics. So you're going to want to super chat if you want your comment or question to be read on screen. And that does it. Let's bring him on. Every Tuesday, we talk Michigan ball, and here we go again, TJ. Big show tonight. Lots to talk about. How you feeling?
Bro, I'm amped up. I am so amped up. We got so much to talk about. We got to talk about the newest commit, which we will. Cannot wait to get into his film, and cannot wait to break this down, because we as a fan base are not hype enough about this. And just remember, I told you, the ranking services are way off on this kid. We're going to get into that. Then we got spring updates we got to talk about. We got recruiting updates. I know it's been some time. We got some recruiting updates. We got a lot to talk about. We got some new hires, John. Can't wait, man. Let's get to it.
And we want to always thank our folks like Michigander, telling people to hit that like button. Jeremy's here. Jackson Johnson. So many folks. Michigan fan goats. These are all members, y'all, and mods. So thank you all. GT, everybody's here. Beats and treats. And Rockstar, whoa. So appreciate everybody coming in here. I know there's hockey. So thanks y'all for stopping by. So
whoa,
thank you.
Yeah. Wait. You know, are you referring to the Wings game right now?
Yeah, apparently there's a Wings game.
John, I'm proud of you, bro. There's a big game on right now. Boys better pull it out. That's all I got. I don't know if you know this. If we lose, our playoff chances drop like 30%. If we win, they go up like 27 or something. So we better get the dub tonight.
Well, it's always go blue here. So let's make it happen. And obviously Detroit, as well. So anyway, Michigan favored by 10.5 against Alabama. That's right, folks. So we're into the Sweet 16. Michigan has looked better and better. I feel like the last game they really hit their stride, and I think that they've shaken off the Purdue loss, and I think that they're in a great position. Favored by 10.5 that's not small time, TJ. We're talking double digits here against a good Alabama team. They don't suck.
I'm going to be honest. I'm bullish as hell about this game. I was very happy to get I was not watching the. By the way, shout out to the March Madness tournament, man. Sunday was a beautiful day. Sat and enjoyed all the games. I watched them all too. I didn't care about anything other than March Madness basketball, but watched the Alabama Texas Tech game, and I watched it. And you know what I was thinking to myself, John? Food. Michigan's going to eat both these teams. I feel very confident about this. Alabama, the size is not there. I feel Michigan. I'll be real with you here. I think they're going to win by more than 10.5. I really do. Now it's March Madness. They got a week to prepare. Right? So we'll see. Boys got to come to play at the end of the day. We know how that goes. But look at Florida. Didn't go so well. So, as long as the boys come to play, I'm confident about it, and I think they're covering, dude. I really do. My concerns are with Iowa State, Arizona, and we are going to talk a little Michigan Actually, you know what? I don't know why I'm going this far. We'll talk Michigan basketball later in the show. We'll get into it, John.
Yes, absolutely. We did want to thank FanDuel, of course. I'm with you on covering. I think it's going to be a strong showing by the Wolverines. We also want to thank Freedom Services EPC, our other major sponsor here, newest sponsor. Quality you can trust, people you can count on, serving all of the USA's oil and gas needs. Freedom Services EPC. Check them out at freedomservicesepc.com. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. And that about wraps up. We have a lot to cover. We do have a lot real quick. We want to cover. So we want GT for the starting things out with the 5. Breaking news: OSU DB Marcus Williamson robs 9 banks and only comes away with $22,000. That's financial efficiency in action from Ohio. Absolutely. That's what they do.
I kind of saw this today. I want to be respectful. Wild to say the least. Again, to my point that I've been trying to slam home, I don't want to hear shit about off the field stuff from any rivals, bro. Like, there is enough on everyone's rap sheet right now. Leave it alone, because it's wild out here. You just it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Throw something about throwing stones when you're in a glass house. That's what Ohio likes to do. And here's another example of why they should maybe just sit this one out.
And they fucking will too, sons of bitches. Anyways.
Yeah, it was very interesting because I was talking to some Buckeyes about Ross. They're not happy with Ross Bjork at all.
Oh, no, they're not.
And I remember when that happened, I was like, damn it. Like, Ohio State just swung for the fences with a guy who is very NIL friendly. And I was worried. And it seems like nobody likes him over there right now.
Okay. All right, so let's hit on that. Okay, so there is, all right, listen, I've mentioned this before. There is an Ohio State account that I really appreciate. I appreciate him. I like his approach. That's what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. Dylan every day.
Yeah.
He is on it. I see his posts because he is like leading the army to get Ross fired, right? But I wish our fan base had the same effing passion sometimes. I feel like sometimes we're the ones, our channel, maybe our community, we're the ones like, hey, get Ward the F out of here, right? But yeah, I mean, Ross Bork, I agree with you. When they got him from Texas A&M, I was like, oh shit, this could be a real problem. But they are not happy. They are not satisfied. It's nice to see. You know what else is funny too? They are so, and I know some Buckeyes are watching. You know what I'm about to say is true. They are so down bad right now, not being involved in this tournament. They're not in the March Madness tournament. And they're feeling left out. I know football's king. I know it. I know. but it matters. It matters. And you know what? Michigan's doing what?
Winning.
We're running. We're winning. We're winning in basketball. We're winning in hockey. Frozen Four's coming. Football team's looking good. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, it's good to be a Michigan Wolverine, John.
Who's having a worse week, Ohio State basketball fans or Marcus Williamson? I think it might be a toss-up.
It looks like a bad time either way, John.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough Ohio talk for now. But let's talk about this. Kyle Whittingham secures his first major commit as the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. We actually have some film here of Daryl Madison, 4-star DB out of Chicago, Illinois.
Start that bad boy from the beginning, John. We started from the beginning. I need the people to see this. All right, listen. I know recruiting has been slow. I know. But I'm going to tell you right now, this kid here, there is not enough. I'm going to say this right now. Remember these words. There is not enough hype around this commitment. I see the boards. I see Twitter. I'm on Twitter. This kid is a top 150 to 100 player. If he had 20 to 15 pounds more on him, he'd be an easy 100. The scouts are not up to par with this kid. This kid is a ball hawk. This kid plays high safety. This kid can come up. This kid does lay the hits. Look at this. That's an NFL play.
47 tackles, TJ, in 2025. 5 interceptions. 5.
6'2", 170. He's got to get his weight up. He's a junior, boys. He's going to be a senior this year. He's got time. He'll be just fine. Plus, when you're committed to Michigan, the strength to get, look at that. Oh, boy.
Under Doug Elisaya, he'll cook. Don't worry.
Bro, that kid's laying on the field. Well, the point is the strength and conditioning staff will give him an off-season, give him a training schedule to help him bulk. But like, I'm telling you, this kid is not getting enough effing praise. He's going to be a playmaker. When you look at Jay Hill's defense, and he likes to run I call it a chaos defense, high turnovers in the back end. This kid's going to eat. I see Kirby Joseph in his game. I'm going to be honest with you. And if you don't know who Kirby Joseph is, he's led the NFL in interceptions since 22. This kid is a playmaker. I don't give a shit. I'm not overhyping it. I've seen his film. I've watched him. He's a hands catcher. He has great anticipation. He knows how to read the play. I'm very high on him, man. Look, he'll come up. He gets his weight up. These running backs, these wide receivers coming over the middle, they're effed. They're effed because he's looking to make contact. The kid's an athlete. Currently, I believe it's 247. He's ranked like 241, 243. Composite 247 has him about 410. I will just let you know. They're fucking off. I have these kids from time to time. Last year was Jordan Deck. Travis Johnson, if y'all remember, how's he doing in spring camp? We'll talk about it. This is another one. This is one of TJ's favorites in the class. I'm a big fan. I came up on him late. I'll be real with you. I didn't even watch the film till last night. I've never even seen this kid's film until last night. And I was thinking to myself, we are sleeping on this kid. He needs, look at this. How many plays? How many turnovers is he going to have in this? Boys, this is one highlight tape. Interception. 5
is legit, in my opinion. For one player in junior year,
Listen, he's a top 150 player, in my opinion. This kid needs way more hype. If his weight was up, all right, he's a top 150 player right now. If his weight was up, he'd be a top 100 player. I'm not playing, bro. I'm not kidding. I know what I see. And guess what? I made a post today about earlier in the morning that this kid is severely underrated. Josh Hinsky agrees with me. Josh Hinsky agrees that he's being underrated even by their side of things. I'm telling you, legit, there needs to be more hype here. There's not enough hype. It's early in the season. People aren't familiar with these players yet, myself included. I was not familiar with this game. Shout out to Shaq. But I'm telling you, nice player, bro. I'm ecstatic. He's going to fit perfectly with this defense. Shout out to Whittingham. Shout out to Jay Hill, man. And shout out to my guy, Stapleton, who on the back end DB coach, who helped get this recruitment done. So shout out to all of them, man.
So there's some talk in the chat, and it's not the first I've heard about this, about, hey, where's the 5 stars?
What?
Hey, remember in the past when we got 5 stars? This is a 4-star player. This is a legitimate It's in the. I'm not going to post it on, but there's a legitimate player here for the first recruit, and we need to remember one thing. Think Jim Harbaugh, but without the stupidity of banking it all on a couple of players and then having to double back. But think Jim Harbaugh in the good sense of he's going to be going after program fits. Whittingham is going to be going after people who are about the team. He's going to, and they may be 3 stars, and they may be 4 stars. I'm much like John. Last year I was frying. I was frying them for not getting enough 4 or 5 stars, but I was concerned because I didn't think our coaching was good enough. Now I think our coaching is superior to almost every other university.
Well, I think we have a great coaching staff, right? But John, it's a blue chip. It's a 4-star player.
What are we talking? Legit player.
Yeah. Oh, listen. It's the first commitment in the Whittingham era. We already have Kitchens, the edge, who's a nice player. He's another 4-star. What are we talking about? Michigan had how many blue chips last cycle? Like fucking 14 or something. We are fine. This is not a concern. Anyways, let me just say this too. How many 5 stars did we end up? We ended up with 3 last cycle. I don't want to hear this 5-star shit. Don't bring that to our channel. Don't bring that shit to our respectful. Don't bring that shit to our channel. Listen, you want some 5 stars? I got some updates for some 5 stars in recruiting updates. Stick around, buddy.
Hey, look at that.
Look. Here's the reality. This is a fucking nice player. Like, I'm betting my own credibility on this shit. I call player. I lock it. Guess who else TJ used to love? Chase Taylor. Who's making noise in spring camp? Chase Taylor. 3-star. I don't play around, bro. I don't just like players. I was watching this huddle tape last night. I was getting chills. Yeah, chills, man. It's good. I was like, holy shit, man. Each play. There were some things we didn't even call out that he was doing in that huddle tape. It's beautiful. That's a very good player. That I'm telling you right now, it was good get. That kid will play for Michigan. That kid will play for Michigan. That kid will start for Michigan. Maybe, we'll see when. I'm not saying as a freshman, but he will develop into a starter at Michigan.
So here's one reason why I'm less concerned about, if I was at all concerned about talent and acquisition with Whittingham. You know what helped take it away? The news over the last 2 days, TJ, that Ron Bellamy is back. That's right, folks. The front office has officially been rolled out. We've got everybody here to break down, but the one that we'll start with is, our friend Ron Bellamy. Now, I've said, and people were calling me out for saying this 6 to 12 months ago. If Ron Bellamy was here as a recruiting person, I would be fine. Everybody here knows about my criticism of Ron Bellamy, but it's almost entirely about on the field results. Having him out there representing his alma mater, the connections that he already has to some really top tier players who he's already brought in, like the Andrew Marshes of the world. I think this is a positive addition. Just keep him off of the coaching and keep him going on those home visits and those couches and those high school games and in my opinion, he's welcome. What did you make of this news when you heard that Ron Bellamy was coming back to Michigan under Coach Whittingham?
Well, it's funny because this has been in the works for some weeks now. Like I think it kind of came about 3 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. I know they've been talking. So the backstory is Michigan and Ron Bellamy had discussions when the whole transition was happening, and Michigan wanted him to, because of Micah Simon, they wanted him to potentially, take an off the field role. Ron Bellamy wanted to explore his options. Now, fast forward 2 months, here we are. Ron Bellamy's back, and it's interesting, John. This hire is very interesting. Now I'll say I think I got word like 2 weeks ago. People were like, "Are the Ron Bellamy rumors true? Are the Ron Bellamy rumors true?" And yeah, they were true. That he was the one that. Well, see, what's interesting. All right, and we'll talk about Chris Petit. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Or Chris Pettit. It might be Pettit, to be honest with you, but we'll say Chris Pettit. But because F Petiti, Big Ten Commissioner, F you. But there was rumors you see it. There was rumors multiple. There was going to be additional staff hires after the Dave Poloquin hire for GM and the Scholar Fan hire for director of on-campus recruiting.
Great hires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great hires, right? There was, buzz that more was coming. They wanted to expand the recruiting department. They wanted to expand the personnel department. They wanted to expand the on-campus staff. So we knew there was more to come. And then you kind of hear about, and we'll get into Chris Pettit again, but
yeah,
you hear the rumors about Ron Bellamy, and at first I was like, because the position was hyped as somebody who's going to go off campus on the road and recruit. And I was like, all right, Ron Bellamy. Now and this is something I want, John, I mentioned you before the show that I really wanted to hit on, which is the dynamic of Ron Bellamy, the recruiter.
Right.
Okay. So here's the word on Ron Bellamy, the recruiter. The word is Ron Bellamy is a great relationship guy. Relates very well to the kids, former high school coach, won a state championship with West Bloomfield, helped bring Donovan Edwards to Michigan, because they won it together. And, and he has great ties in the area. He's got the Detroit ties. He's got the state of Michigan. He's got some Midwest connections. And I've seen people on Twitter, they argue, John, well, why didn't he recruit better wide receivers? How come there wasn't more talent? Well, this is what I mean by the dynamic of Ron Bellamy, the recruiter. Well, the reality was when he was here, NIL was not funded for a while, which is why we were getting a lot of under 6 foot wide receivers committing to Michigan.
Yeah. Ward, the do nothing was holding back.
That's right. Santone had to put a boot in his ass. And then, and thankfully Michigan has evolved, like I was preaching for a long time before we were on the show, but it doesn't matter.
I remember.
So there's that. And then the second thing is, well, the offense wasn't helping him, right? The offense was making it a hard sell for wide receivers to commit to Michigan. But he did have NIL back. He finally, once NIL came together, John, look, they went after Derek Meadows, and they had the best offer for Derek Meadows, but Derek Meadows wanted more because why? And John, we know this. We were very privy into that situation. We were given insight into that dynamic, and the reason why is because our offense wasn't proven. The offense wasn't proven, so wide receivers were kind of like, eh. So thankfully, Andrew Marsh, now that our NIL's up, he took a shot because why? We landed Bryce Underwood, right? He saw, okay, you got Bryce Underwood. You got this, you're known for your good offensive line. I can be that guy. I can be that offensive weapon. So he landed that Andrew Marsh. How'd that go?
That went fantastic.
Good get, right?
Good get. So
the belief is with the Ron Bellamy hire, he is going to be an on-the-road recruiter and build great relationships and help sell and close, especially with the local area. And then my last point, John, before I let you go at it.
Yes.
He already built a strong relationship with not only my man got it right here. Not that kind of doctor. That's right. Dakota Guran, which we're going to get into in the recruiting update, and Donald Tabron. Another one. These are major, so these are players, these are cornerstone players. These aren't just any players. These are cornerstone players. So, and it's not just that either. He's got relationships with others. We're going to hit on that recruiting update. But that's the thinking. That's the logic. That's the perspective Michigan's taking. And I'm going to tell you this right now, because I know there's some Michigan fans. I know there's some Michigan fans watching the show, no names or any of that stuff. The concern is there too many cooks in the kitchen, which we will get to with the Chris Pettit hire. But, John, I'll let you touch on the Ron Bellamy thing.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't think it's too many cooks. I think we finally have what many other elite programs have in terms of personnel in the front office. Right. I think if anything, we were understaffed in the past.
That's right.
And too many people were wearing too many hats. And when you wear too many hats, you're really wearing none. Because you can't really execute at this level. So I will say this. I think that Ron Bellamy in this recruiting only capacity.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it'll help and shore up, because we know that many of the staff are West Coast. Not all, because obviously got Vanderbilt staff, got obviously Tony Alford sticking around and some of these things. Well, Ron Bellamy also helped shore up the Michigan of it all, helped shore up the Midwest. And I think that there's a lot there. I think I think that's a missing piece that we didn't have before and we have now.
We definitely didn't have an off the field, on the road recruiter like this. This is a dynamic in the new NIL climate that, I mean, essentially he's straight up, he's a relation dude. Honestly, Ron Bellamy's got a dope job. Like his job is like, bro's about to be having a good time, in my opinion. All right. Now, when we hit on the Chris Pettit, I want to get into.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So Chris Pettit. Okay, so now Michigander says he would love credit for his too many cooks in the kitchen comment. So shout out to Michigander, loyal, good member and good friend to the channel.
Absolutely.
We love Michigander, and look, here's the thing about Chris Pettit, right? And if I'm mispronouncing it, let me know. It's all new. But Sean McGee. So we're talking about the expanding of this recruiting department. Sean McGee. And I've heard this from two parents, and I've also heard this from another individual, was very unorganized. Sean McGee was, I don't want to say forgetful, but would lose track of shit. I'll give you an example. I know firsthand, in all respect to the situation, of two different players and families where Sean McGee was very delayed, very, very, very delayed, and getting the NIL stuff together for the next season. Now, it wasn't one of those, well, they're not sure if they're going to keep him on the roster or anything like that. No, because the coaches have already committed. Everything was already worked out. But Sean McGee was not. It's like, he was just late to the party. Like, I mean, I know of one where it was like 2 months after the coaches already confirmed the expectations and the role and all that stuff. So, unfortunately, Sean McGee was having some things fall through the cracks, it appeared. He was also a one-man, basically a one-man show. There wasn't a lot, which is why they're bringing an assistant general manager to help with scouting. So speaking of, Chris Pettit here, Chris Pettit, John, 18 years of NFL experience, 2 Super Bowl rings. And I've already gotten into it. I've already gotten into it with
the Giants, man. Yeah.
They're like, well, the Giants drafting hasn't been that great. Well, first of all, the general manager makes the call. You have your scouts. Your scouts offer their opinions. The general manager makes the call based on fit, need, whatever. So it's possible, Chris Pettit's recommendations weren't even heard. Chris Pettit stepped away from the NFL a few years ago, and he started. See, what's interesting, John, that what Michigan's doing? I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
We have talked about on this channel, John, the unique approach that Michigan is taking with its different chess pieces. This is another one. Okay, Dave Poloquin, athletes first. On the opposite side of the NIL structure, right? This is our new general manager, Dave Poloquin, who now has 20 years of Notre Dame recruiting experience as well, right? A Midwestern
and
power.
Firsthand NIL experience at the organization after. Yeah.
From the player perspective. So he knows all of everything that's happening with that. He's as up to date to the innovations of NIL and all of the approaches and tricks that these programs are taking, right? Then you add Chris Pettit here. Now, Chris Pettit is not only bringing all that NFL experience, which, by the way, bringing NFL experience to the college game, guys, I'm going to tell you right now.
I love it.
We were on Matt Patricia's ass, respectfully, and pause, because he wasn't the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. Oh, Tom Brady carried him. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, but he did a great job at the college level. Well, this is what happens when you come down to that next level. It's a little easier when you're more skilled. You're no longer average. You're now elite at the level below.
Remember Jesse Minner?
Right.
Remember, exactly. Hey, Jim Harbaugh. Hey, Mike McDonald, who just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. And then Jesse Minner, who was at Vanderbilt, and I was like, I don't know about all right, well, that worked out very well. Clearly, bro's about to win a Super Bowl in Baltimore eventually. But the point is, and I haven't even gotten to this, one of the things that make Chris Pettit even more valuable is what he did after he left the NFL. He created a new program called Scout Smarter. It's an AI program, and apparently he's bringing this to Ann Arbor. They're going to have an AI implementation to their scouting department. and he's going to be heading the scouting department, from my understanding. Like, like he's, basically at the top. Obviously, he'll be reporting to Dave Poloquin, but still, dude, this is Michigan being cutting edge, innovative, proactive, and in my opinion, today, to Michigander's point about too many cooks in the kitchen, they are structuring their we'll call it a front office, because that's kind of what's happening here, boys. They got your college football program has a front office now. Taking an NFL-like approach, because you have a new climate in college football that is becoming pro-like. You have to have a scouting department. You have to have an on-campus department. You have to have someone who handles the player personnel in the roster building department. This is what Michigan is building right now with Skylar Fan, with Chris Pettit, with Dave Poloquin, the Ron Bellamy's. I don't want to miss anyone. Chris Bryant. It's dude. Look, I've talked about this. Like, I'm a big action guy. Now, obviously, results. We got to see the results. I'm already loving the first dip in the pool with Madison, our new safety we just added. But look, at the end of the day, Michigan is doing everything they need, and we're going to get into this too. Everything they need to win at the college level, man. Cannot wait.
Oh yeah, I think that the mix of personnel with college experience and personnel with NFL, I think it's good to have a balance, right? Because it's good to have people that are nose deep into college and know what's happening, have the pipelines, all of that stuff into the college game. But I think supplementing that with some NFL experience, there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, right. I think it really does help you set an edge, because in the NFL, they're experimenting with things that haven't trickled down to college yet, like this AI 100%, situation.
100%. And it goes both ways. I mean, the NFL learns from college. College
sure.
learns from the NFL. Like it's actually, it's really a full circle. But I mean, to get somebody, guys, he was a scout at the NFL level for college players. Okay, like he knows what to look for. Dude, you spend 20 years in any industry, you know a lot, things most have forgotten. Okay, or he's forgotten things people don't even know. But yeah, I think Michigan's doing a great job here. They're not effing around. Listen, when we get to Jay Hill, when we get to Jay Hill's press conference, which we will, what our channel has brought to you guys, our community, our audience, the fans, the rivals, I know you watch. We're not off path. Michigan's playing for keeps right now. Michigan's playing for keeps. We have a window right now of 5 years, and I'm excited as hell. They're doing what they need to do right now. Listen, I agree to those who are arguing with me. I can hear you. Yeah, we'll see on Saturdays. We will see on Saturdays. But at the end of the day, Michigan's building the infrastructure, and it looks really promising.
Yeah, and we're not done there, because there was another major pickup that's very exciting. So Natalia Benitez Hilton has been named the Wolverines' new director of football operations.
Yep.
So remember, Aaron Dunstan was in this role. So now Whittingham obviously has a lot of experience with Natalia. She's she was his assistant. This last year, she actually went to support Utah professional athletics and professionals, the Utah Jazz, and now since January, she's been on campus at Michigan. And here is another major hire for the front office. I mean, this is our new, obviously we talked about the importance of Aaron Dunstan when she was hired. And so it's the same type of situation here, where the importance of setting up the, like event planning in these roles, we don't talk about that. Event planning being so important from, the weeks leading up to the run of the event. It's called a run of show. And every single time slot's planned out of like what you're gonna notice. And so I feel like that this is all going to be part of in her wheelhouse, as well as other aspects of the football program. But what did you make of this, TJ? Another, I think, slam dunk.
Well, look, familiarity with she was with the Utah staff, like you mentioned, and just familiarity. I mean, look, like we're kind of in a lucky position here. Like we are lit, and dude, Utah fans are. You want to talk about Sherrone Moore punching air, boy? Utah fans are punching air right now, bro. Like we've rated their program. We're taking the best of their. It was already a healthy program. That was a 10-win program, 10-win program in the Big 12. We are now taking their best and brightest, bringing them to Ann Arbor, and we're merging it with the resources and the talent already here. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, I'm excited about it. I think Michigan, again, like I mentioned, the infrastructure is being built. They're expanding this football personnel, pro personnel like department. Operations department, but like, I don't know. They're doing it, man. Like I think we are at a point now though where the hires are going to chill out for probably the year. I mean, they fucking dumped how many on us yesterday? But yeah, I mean, look, I listen. I said this maybe a week ago. I am not a trust the coaches guy.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I was gonna say something. I'll lay off it. I was gonna say I'm not another trust something else guy either. But whatever. Look, man. But this coaching staff has my trust. I do trust this coaching staff, and I'm not blind trusting this coaching staff. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some faith in my trust. Like, I have faith, but the track record's there, boys. The track record's there, boys. I mean, and we're gonna talk about it with Jay Hill. I can't wait to get into that. But yeah, I trust what they're doing until they give us a reason not to. I mean, that's where I kind of am. Like, you have my trust until you give me a reason not to. Sherrone Moore, fucking word manual. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, that's just where we are. I mean, Michigan's doing the damn thing. I'm excited about it, bro. I think rivals should. I think they know. I think you know. I think you see us. You may think you guys run this shit, but you see us. And I'm talking about Ohio State, not little brother.
So one thing that you touched on, I think, is something, it wasn't even in our outline because we're so jam-packed today. The whole Kyle Whittingham, Utah divorce situation. So, Utah can't be upset that Kyle Whittingham is recruiting some of his people over when allegedly Kyle Whittingham was asked to take a 1-year, here's a 1-year extension where you can coach the team again, but all decisions have to be run by these other people. Therefore, essentially taking away all agency as a head coach. Why the hell would he say yes to that? And why wouldn't he want to go somewhere like Michigan that will give him the authority he needs to run his program?
Well, the other thing to that too is actually, more of a symbolic role than an actual role, John. And he actually wasn't in that. I read that as well. But he also wanted more NIL support, and Utah wouldn't give it to him. So he's like, "Fuck that." So Utah fans are all bent out of shape because apparently he agreed with Utah in his buyout to help the transition post Whittingham for the new coaching staff, but they're all bent out of shape because we took a bunch of their players and we rated their cupboards essentially. Well, guess what, bro? You told Whittingham you didn't want him, and look, we went through with Harbaugh. This is what it is. We all saw what Lane Kiffin tried to do, right? We all saw him try to raid that program while they were in a playoff run. But end of the day, I mean, Michigan, there's no wrong. And not only that, they fucked up. And I mean, good on us. And again, this ties into that Jay Hill interview I can't wait to talk about, John, because listen, they're here. They're on a mission. The staff's on a mission. Michigan's on a mission. They're locked in. And it's great, man. Hey, guess what? Good for us. And I'm not upset about it. I apologize to nobody.
Michigan is clocked in at the locked in factory. That's what Michigan is right now.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's my wife. So Courtney came up with that one.
Hell yeah, Courtney.
Woo! But
we need t-shirts.
So yeah. Yeah, that might be we'll have to get her in on the merch here.
Yeah.
But essentially, you're right. Like Whittingham showed, I think already, that he has the capacity to bring on a world-class staff, both on the field coaching and front office.
Right.
And apparently, we're about to get to this, Urban Meyer said, this is not a guy that's incentivized to be nice to Michigan. Urban Meyer said that when Kyle Whittingham takes over, you're going to see practice the way it's supposed to look and pads popping. And we know that this was the first week of literally yesterday was the first day of pads. And so we're seeing the pads pop right here. So we in this one we see catching the ball here.
Travis Johnson,
Travis Johnson
at the top. That's right.
Big catch there. And Andrew Marsh is now he's taken his number 3 jersey here, and he's doing work over here. So TJ, spring camp so far has been rocking, and what we want to kind of go through for people is what we've heard from Jason Beck as well as Jay Hill, what they've shared with us, as well as some other observations that we had. So starting off with today's conference on Jason Beck, he talked about the fact that and we've said this before, that essentially it's going to be according to the personnel. It's going to be the offense is going to be run based on the strengths of the team, based on the strengths of the players, not so much based on, here's a fixed system. Here's a fixed, we're going to run 11 personnel. We're going to run it out of the shotgun. We're going to do it 100% of the time. No, this is very much adapting to personnel. So he said that. He said J.J. Buchanan, he is proven playmaker. So we talked about J.J. Buchanan last week, TJ. So that was a big piece. And obviously, Bryce Underwood talking about, he was asked specifically the question about Sharon Moore's famous statement. We all remember when Sharon Moore said, hey, if you want to run a quarterback, you better have 2. Well, Jason Beck said, if a quarterback can run and they're good at it, then they should. The quarterbacks that get injured are the ones that they try to run, but really that's not in their skill set. Bryce Underwood can run.
Right.
And so that whole statement, it's like, no, you have to have the confidence to run the personnel based on what their strengths are. So going back to the whole offense being built around players' strengths.
Oh, you mean a coach who knows what he's talking about and doing versus one who, because if you don't have a backup quarterback, you can't run your quarterback, right? That's in the Sharon Moore school of coaching.
Yeah, certain leaders who are too busy on OnlyFans decided to say things like that.
You may have pissed off some donors with that comment, Sharon. Yeah. And I think you know about that. All right, anyways, we might be picking on old Sharon a little too much. Hope he's doing better.
Okay. Hope he's
doing better. Listen, it was a tough year for us Michigan fans. Look. Fucking Bryce Underwood should be using his feet, John. I mean, look, he is a dual threat athletic quarterback. To limit this kid to to make Bryce Underwood one-dimensional is a crime. Why would you limit this kid? Why would you not use his full arsenal? Why are you not using every single ability he has? It's madness, but it's okay because now we have a coaching staff who knows what they're doing. They know what they have. They know how to utilize it. It's just like it goes. Listen, we have a theme. These coaching staff knows what they're doing. Like they know what they see. They have a roadmap for it, and I'm excited to see Bryce Underwood fully unleashed and given the green light to do what he needs to do to improvise. Because sometimes you have to. Sometimes plays break down. Like, can you fathom not telling your quarterback to run when a play breaks down? And we saw that. Bryce Underwood didn't even run those first few games of the season, bro. It did take the donors.
Oklahoma.
It did. Listen, Sharon Moore got checked on that comment. I'm gonna let you know that right now. That is fact. And it rubbed people the wrong way, man. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Anyways, all right. So, point is, good news. Hey, good news. That's not a problem anymore. So, let's see what they can do. We have some more practice updates. We'll get into the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I'm glad to hear that Beck has a plan for Bryce Underwood.
Yeah. He was also talking about how he's showing chemistry with Andrew Marsh. Not a surprise there. And developing, learning the new system, focusing on mechanics. I love that he said focusing on mechanics, because that's something we said. He's got the talent, but the mechanics have been slipping because he doesn't have it, that dedicated quarterback coaching that he needed. So that was very cool. TJ, he also mentioned about one Savion Hyder, that Savion Hyder is a high effort runner, and he has the work ethic to contribute early.
Yeah.
How about that? Another tidbit that we have talked about on this show multiple times, that he not only, he didn't just mention the talent, he mentioned being able to contribute early because of his work ethic.
Well,
and that's what you want to hear.
When it comes to all right. So, like we mentioned last week, we mentioned about a month ago, the buzz, right? We mentioned the buzz, and, some people are like, oh, pump the brakes. We don't want to overreact. We don't want too late. Listen, trains off the tracks, boys. We're going full speed downhill. Savion Hyder is him. There's so many coaches. There's so many people who are observing practice now, all confirming the same thing, to the point, John, where Jason Beck mentioned having both Marshall and Hyder in the backfield at the same time, John. That's nasty, and that's going to create some problems. That's going to create some problems for some defenses. When you have three capable runners in the backfield, good luck. You're going to have a bad time. So yeah, I mean, look, dude, Savion Hyder is showing, he's making noise, man, period. I have a word. I used it for Bryce Underwood last year. I'm going to use it for Savion Hyder this year. He's getting to a point of undeniable. And when you are undeniable, you know how many people right now, insiders, they're saying the same thing. The other, the on threes, the route, whatever. Hyder is becoming he's closer to RB1 than RB2. Now, what have we said on this channel, John? I even said, my distributions, I'm going 50-50.
Yeah.
I was 64.
1B, Thunder and Lightning.
And then if you put them in the backfield together, I mean, it's really going to be. They're going to utilize their weapons. Jason Beck knows how to do this. This is what he has. He has chess pieces. Okay, now how? And we know we know. Here's what we do know, right? Multiple personnel groupings, versatility of the offense, catching defenses. Mm-hmm. That's what they're going to do, and you're not going to know where it's coming from. Listen, that's the projection. Yes, we still have to see it on Saturdays. He's going to go against Big Ten defenses, a little higher caliber of defense than the Big 12. But at the end of the day, I have confidence that this will be a very quality offense, and we're going to be pretty damn excited about that, John. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm very excited. And, remember we talked about having two running backs in the backfield before, and we didn't really get to see it much.
No.
Barely at all. All we ever wanted was a split zone concept with Blake Corum,
Donovan Edwards. Oh my God. At 22 personnel.
We barely got that. I could count on one hand how many times something like that happened. Maybe.
No, they didn't know how to use Donovan Edwards. Let's just be honest. No. And they didn't do a good job last year either. Chip Lindsey, who knows how much, we know he didn't have a green light. We know that. So, but guess what? We do now, man, and word is right now, John, that the intensity of practices are up. Mm-hmm. The fluidity. Now, we talked about this last year with Sharon, that the fluidity of practices wasn't quite the best. You know what, John? I haven't had this confirmed, but I can pretty much guarantee they're running plays until they get them right. They're not just moving on to the next one, John.
Oh, really?
There's some damn accountability being held here, which is nice.
They're doing the play over again if it isn't right.
I'm sure. I'll listen. Wow. I will get that confirmed, but I'm confident that that's
I am too. I am too.
And then let's get into the serious buzz here, John. Andrew Marsh and JJ Buchanan. And let me just say this right now. And I talked about this before. One of the things I love about doing this is calling our shots. And then with time, John, it gets confirmed on its own. JJ Buchanan. What have we told you on this channel about JJ Buchanan? I told you he's a Sunday
BBX.
I've told, he for sure, inside out, exactly. But we told you, listen, he's a player that did not get enough attention. That's why we played his huddle tape, John. We played his huddle tape multiple times this offseason so far, because this is a player that I can see jump off the film. In my opinion, and I'll be fully transparent here. The buzz is actually exceeding my own expectations right now with JJ Buchanan. JJ Buchanan apparently is putting on a damn show at Simbecker Hall. Great catches, can catch anything around. He's a great hands catcher, athletic. Listen, we have two wide receivers who are really separating, but it doesn't mean the other ones aren't good. No, that's not true. The buzz is the entire wide receiver. I don't want to say the entire, but the top wide receivers who we've all discussed before. It is your Andrew Marsh. It is your JJ Buchanan. Jamie French noise, I will be honest, has not been high, but it hasn't been negative either. And then Celestimo, they're very excited about. He's had some flashes. And then we just showed you Travis Johnson, who is turning heads already. There's already talk coming out of Ann Arbor that Travis Johnson is making some noise. And I don't think it's a coincidence you saw his picture today from the Michigan account. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, but listen, if you followed our channel, which I know many of you have we as a community not talked about Travis Johnson all year last year? He was a must get for me. We got him. And it's great. The other thing that there's two more things I want to hit on, John. The offensive line apparently is looking pretty damn good right now. It's early, but the defense is ahead but that's normal. The defense,
JJ Buchanan catch there.
Yeah, and one of the things that the defense is doing right now, but I'm going to tell you right now, because I'm reading. I love reading people's comments. I love reading fans' reactions to things. I really get into it. It's fun for me. There's some buzz that there's been some turnovers. There's been some turnovers by Carr. There's been some turnovers by Bryce Underwood. Boys, Jay Hill's defense gets turnovers. That's what they do. They disguise the back end of this defense creates that. This is going to be a trend for this defense this season. It's going to be tough. Well, good, because it's going to prepare our boys. It's going to get Bryce Underwood more prepared to go against a defense that's multiple like this. So, in my opinion, I am not concerned with the early turnover buzz that Carr and Underwood have both been reported of having. In my opinion, it's early learning curve. Listen, they are asking two things. They are asking Bryce Underwood to do things he didn't do last year. They are asking Bryce Underwood to digest a whole new playbook against a defense he's not used to going against. And I know Jay Hill talked about the similarities of the 0-3 defense and stuff like that, which we will get into. But end of the day, there's new concepts, new looks. The kid is still young. He's developing. He's growing. I'm not concerned. I think, honestly, it's par for the course. It's very early in spring camp. And a lot of the noise we're hearing is pretty positive right now. I will say this. I said last thing. There's not been a lot of buzz on the front seven, and that has been my concern. Right. That has been my concern. We'll see, though, early. We'll find out. I'm sure some boys will develop. John Henry Daly's not playing yet either, so that's a big piece.
Yeah, Jay Hill, in his conference, it did seem like he was trying to hype up the linebacker room a bit. We know that that's a weak point or a thin point, but he did say that he sees a lot of talent and potential in the linebacker room. So he obviously pointed out Troy Bowles. He pointed out Nathaniel Osu-Boateng, Chase Taylor, some of these names where they played some ball, and Hill's going to be relying on them to carry the flame a little bit, in addition to some of the newer players.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly. I mean, it's we have a very nice, I guess, chess pieces. I mean, that's just the best way to say it, John. The boys have the tools. When I mean the boys, the coaching staff has the tools. These players offer like I. So to your point here, John, I think it's very interesting his comment on he kind of likes Zeke Berry at nickel.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting comment.
About that.
That's an interesting comment, John. You know, Snowden has been the assumed nickel.
Right.
Well, maybe they want to, but who knows? Maybe they want to play them both inside, outside. Maybe it's going to be matchup based. I'm not sure yet. Still learning. I mean, obviously, we got a lot to learn from Jay Hill. But it goes to show you nothing's solidified right now. They're learning what they have. And the fact that Zeke Berry is already showing, I'll be so honestly, I like Zeke Berry at nickel too. And I know he has been burnt at that position before, but his prototype as a player, he should be able to do very well at nickel. He's very athletic. He should be able to, he has good acceleration, good hips, good fluidity. I'm interested to see how this comes together, by the start of the season.
Yeah, it's interesting because Zeke Berry obviously has nickel experience, but he did seem like the CB2 role, just made more sense. But I think it's interesting that someone with the experience of Jay Hill is coming into this and it's like, actually, I think Zeke Berry could spend some time with nickel alongside Smith Snowden, and I do think they're going to probably try both through fall camp, and then we'll see, who kind of emerges as the starter nickel. But yeah, sure. I think it's interesting that they're gonna try to rotate them both, and he's just going to see what he has because Jay Hill said that this defense reminded him of the 2023 defense. That's right. In a lot of ways. So Zeke Berry going to nickel. I think we're mostly at this point, there aren't very many remainders from 23 in terms of players, but Rod Moore is one. Also, in addition to that, I think that from the kind of the physicality of that 23, the thing that I remembered about that was, in addition to superior cornerback play from like a Sanderstil, on top of that, it was just so systematic. It was very Patriots-esque, and I mean by Patriots-esque, like it was a unit. It wasn't like an individual. Like everybody was executing at a superior level. So if we can expect some of that again from this squad, when we were more excited about the offense coming into the games this year, that's a great sign.
Yeah, I mean it's. Exactly. I mean, but where my concerns lie, right? So we'll see. I mean, it's I'm gonna wait for more camp updates on it. But yeah, look, end of the day, John, and how about this? Can we play the Jay Hill press conference? Is that next, or are we waiting on that?
So if you'd like me to,
I got it.
Yeah, if you want to spin that, I don't have the video, but I
got it. All right, so I want to hit on this, John, because this. Yeah. Speaking of.
Yeah.
Look, in my opinion, this. Take notes, Michigan fans and rivals. Take notes. Listen.
Okay. Do we expect to be good in year one? Absolutely. Do we expect to be competing for championships? All that. That's why we came here. So. I don't think it's fair for anyone to say they're in a rebuild. In college football, no one puts up with that in today's world. But there are definitely things that we're building. We believe in toughness. We believe in discipline. We believe in having guys go to class and handle their business off the field. It's always a work in progress, but we believe in what we do, and that's kind of what we're looking to build.
All right. John, they are not treating year one like a rebuild.
No.
We heard Coach Al for 2 weeks ago. Was it week 2? Who knows anymore?
About 2. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. We heard about the no excuses. It's the results business.
Right.
Winning. You got to win. You see the mentality of this coaching staff. They're here to win. He goes, they expect to be good. They came here to win championships, okay? So when you understand the mentality of this coaching staff, we talk about everything we just talked about that's happening in spring practice. We talked about, John, the front office. I'm just gonna say front office. I don't give a shit. I know it's college, but boys, it's pretty much semi-pro. The front office that the football team is putting together right now. We've had some commenters on some of our videos say, "Hey, we're putting a little too much pressure on the team. The expectations are a little too." They got the same expectations, boys. They got the same goals. They want to compete for a Big Ten championship year one. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I'll just say this. And I mentioned this to John. I'm gonna make a call right now. I believe. Take notes. Laminate the receipts. I believe Jay Hill is gonna be the next head coach of Michigan.
Boom.
I believe Jay Hill is going to be the coach in waiting after Kyle Whittingham. I also believe, and I don't know this, all speculative. I want to make that very clear right now. This is all speculative on my end, just watching, just observing everything. It is my opinion, okay, that Jay Hill will be the next coach in waiting. I believe Alex Whittingham, the son of Kyle Whittingham, will be the future defensive coordinator for Michigan.
Yeah.
Because he is going to learn his grandfather's defense, Mad Dog Whittingham's defense, which is Kyle Whittingham's dad that was used at Utah and BYU.
The 90s, yep.
I believe the Whittinghams see a legacy opportunity here, and I think that is what is happening in Michigan, which is why they're not worried about that 5-year window, because they have a play for the long game. That is what I believe. It's speculative, but I'm just saying let's pay attention and observe that. You heard it here first.
Yeah, so we obviously have to make a big assumption when we say that this will go well, and I think it will go well.
Right. Fair. Yeah,
I think it will go well. But that is an assumption, because in order to establish a legacy, you first need to establish your own, prove it on the field for a couple of years with some good results. So here's what I think: if Whittingham walks out of here with a couple of Big Ten conference titles and a natty, like he pulls a Harbaugh,
that's right,
21-23 right. era.
Sure,
you can lose some games.
Sure,
but a couple of Big Ten titles, a natty, beat Ohio State a couple of times. Right. Then right. Yes, I absolutely do think that the next one is going to be Jay Hill, and I think that's why he came, because Jay Hill could have stayed at BYU, and they were trying to keep him. They were doing everything they could to try to keep him.
I know there's a lot of stuff happening. They almost did.
A lot of stuff happening
because they increased their offer and everything. Look, 100% dependent on success, on-field success. But if it goes as anticipated, boys, they are here to win a natty. They're locked in. This is their mission. They're not here to not win. Jay Hill just told you that's why we came here, to win championships. They ain't doing that at BYU, respectfully. Utah, that's not happening. It's going to happen here. And it's going to, and listen, Kyle Whittingham, I think, sees this as an opportunity for his son, who came from the NFL as a positional coach, who can then eventually be that coordinator, right? Using, again, his dad's base defense. I wish I had the clip of Kyle Whittingham talking about this defense, because Jay Hill says it's the most complex defense in the nation. Kyle Whittingham says, we could simplify it a little, But, yeah, man, look, in my opinion, I see the vision. I feel like I see the vision. We're going to find out together. But I think, and I'll tell you now, I like Jay Hill. From what I've learned prior to him coming to Michigan, from what I learned, his work, his previous, being at BYU, and then to being the defensive coordinator for Michigan, his press conference, I see a head coach. I'm not going to lie to you. His mentality is right. He talks right. Now, obviously, results are going to matter here. Results is the results business. As long as the boys do well, and I already told you what I expect. My expectations for this year is the 2015 Michigan season, Jim Harbaugh's first year, where you see that well coached, and we're already hearing it. Am I wrong? We're hearing about the practices in spring camp. We're talking Sam Webb. Shout out to Sam Webb.
Yeah,
he mentioned the Deron Payne talking about the similarities to his time with Nick Saban when he was at Alabama versus, being here with Sherrone Moore. It's an experienced coach who knows what the hell he's doing. And another thing we as Michigan fans can get excited about.
For sure. I do agree that I think this is a legacy play, and compared to where we were 3 months ago,
Yeah.
To now be talking about the possibility
God.
of a legacy play because of the competence that we're seeing.
TJ, you mean the next 15
Holy
years already
shit.
established in Michigan? The next 15 years, we got John. We already have the entire pipeline. We got Kyle Whittingham, Jay Hill, Alex Whittingham. My guy over here is asking about Jason Beck. So unfortunately, the casualties of war. It is my opinion we will lose Jason Beck at some point. I don't think he is. I think it's gonna be Jay Hill. I just do. But listen, we're gonna find out. We'll watch it together. But it is my opinion, especially look at their ages. Like Jason Beck's like what, 30? I don't even know. He's a younger guy though. What is Jason Beck's age? And it doesn't mean he's not ready to be a head coach. Oh, he's 45. TJ, look at you. Jay Hill is 51. I guess there's not a huge gap there. I thought Jason Beck was younger, but I do
so too. He looks good for being 40 in his 40s. Yeah.
I thought he graduated in my high school class. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get a good vibe with Jay Hill, man. I really think he's the head coach. I think he will be a head coach in waiting for us. Jason Beck's going to do well. He's going to do well, and he's going to get an opportunity. So that's we'll see. To be determined, boys.
So we do have some super chats to get our community's take. But any final thoughts before we hop over there?
No. Let's see. Before we wait, what's next, John? I'm sorry.
Recruiting and basketball is after this.
That's right. No final thoughts. But let me just say, early returns out of spring camp are really good. Encouraging. The intensity, the attitude, the culture. That's, dude, the recruits. And we're gonna get into that when we recruit an update. Like, they're liking what they're seeing, right? So, I'm excited, man. I think. Listen, I agree. Listen, I know there's somebody watching. Like, all right, boys, relax. It's March 24th. We're acting like we won a nat. All right, look, I'm just saying, there's a lot to be excited about. Listen, there's still. We got to listen. We're going to see in the spring game. We're going to see what this team looks like a little bit. We're going to, we got to wait till the season. But end of the day, let me just put it this way: everything is pointing in the right direction. To be determined on the result.
Real quick before we get to, and yes, I agree. I think like Urban said, we're seeing like practice looks the way it's supposed to look. So that's very exciting stuff. Happy birthday, Moose, who has been a long time viewer, mod, supporter. Happy belated birthday to our buddy Moose. I hope you're feeling better and doing okay.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, man.
Let's start with this. This isn't a super chat, but from our friend Garrison, who's the host of the Ohio State channel, and so he's saying, even I think that keeping Ron Bellamy was good for y'all, and I'm hoping this isn't some reverse mind tricks here. But
like, look, man, one of the things I really like, I understand he's the Joker, he's the villain. There's some fans who are not the biggest fans of our Ohio State friend Garrison, and I understand, they get frustrated, but I really enjoy my debates with Garrison, bro. Me and him, we fucking debate, and we challenge each other constantly. I don't even know. He called me not too long ago. We debated about some shit. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you know what? Shout out to Garrison. So if you remember last week, John, I mentioned I believe our wide receiver unit is top 5 in the Big Ten. This is what we debated about, and Garrison called me and he's like, I agree. He's like, I agree with you. He goes, I think he has us 4th behind Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. And he has Maryland, I think 5th. But that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, so because I mentioned, I'm sure Garrison will have something to say, but no, he actually agrees. And I think I'm on point. I will do a deeper dive into the conference and give a more accurate position on it. But no, listen, this is, in my opinion, a top 5 wide receiver unit. Garrison, listen, Garrett, let me tell you something. Garrison don't want to big us up. Garrison does not want to big, but one thing I appreciate about Garrison is, like I will with Ohio State, like I acknowledge truth. right?
Yeah.
I like fuck them, but respect the program. All right. So it is what it is. That's my boy. So shout out to Garrison, man.
Happy birthday also to our friend GT.
Damn, GT.
Wow, everybody's got their birth. All right, I'm going to put this in the calendar for next year. So everybody, because we got two major community members' birthdays on the same day. Happy birthday, GT.
Well, awesome. Congrats, boys. Hey, you made it another year. Let's get some more. We got another. Can we at least get 5 years, boys? We got a natty to get.
Speaking of GT, Sharon said that he would come back for free after seeing the women we hired. So that's something Sharon would probably do.
How generous of Sharon. What a nice guy.
Yeah. What a good Samaritan.
Yeah. He just wants to help out, man.
GT also said, Nick Saban, we don't run it till we get it right. We run it till we can't get it wrong. Sharon says, we just kind of run it.
Can confirm.
Yeah. No, Nick say that is you're supposed. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, like good coaches, they run the concepts over and over again until you get it right.
Harbaugh would run the shit out of a play until they got it right. Yes, he would.
That was an early indicator that we had a head coach that didn't know what they were doing. When we heard that little tidbit.
I see some Kobe discussion in the chat. You better be careful, boys. It's not derail the show.
Snap.
Shout out to Kobe.
GT says, what would be the over-under odds of Sharon texting OnlyFans models during halftime of this year's Ohio State game?
7.5. 7.5. He's got time. He's got
plenty of time.
He's got time.
Would that be like how many he texts during half?
Yeah. Is it over or under 7? Is it over under 7?
He probably copies and pastes shit.
Listen, you mean like my guy? Who was it? Oh shit! Who's the dude who used that pickup line F3? Oh, who was it? Someone in the chat knows the F3 pickup line. Do you know about this, John? Shit. Oh, was it the game? The rapper the game. I think it was all right. So the rapper the game.
I was thinking it was Zeke Ansari when he asked about Whole Foods going to Whole Foods. Do you want anything?
Oh, that's funny.
Over and over and over. Yeah.
Well, dude. So the game DMs these girls and puts F3. And then they go, what? And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to get some from the vending machine or some shit like that. I kind of butchered it a little bit, but listen, Sharon Moore is a quality man. All right. He's not a quantity guy. All right. So he's probably got his roster of 15 and, he just wants to, see who's available.
Facts.
And then if you're not available, as we've seen through text evidence, he'll say, we're going to do this shit again.
Right. Yeah. Hey, a regular Casanova. Dadoy with the 2. I feel like a dancing puppy excited for Michigan football. Dude. I think you're right to be.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
Because
it looks like it's supposed to again, TJ. It looks like it used to.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks right. Now I know our eyes are not on the field. But I trust the coaches, man. GT. I listen. The buzz matches what we're seeing on the outside. I know we don't see the players yet. I'm sure we will. Obviously we will spring game. And I know there's something you can't tell anything from the spring game. You can get a little something. I mean, shit. Did you see Jalen Hoffman ball out in the spring game? He killed it this year. No, he didn't. The point is, though, there's still something to be had from spring games. But yeah, I mean, look, it feels right. We're hearing sounds right, and it looks right. So I'm encouraged, man. I'm encouraged.
Yeah. So F3, faith, family, and fitness, and there was a 4th F for Sharon. If you get my drift, and that's why some moves had to be made to get rid of him.
Friends with benefits?
There was a 4th F. That's
fucking?
called fucking. Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah. So anyway, now the commenters are going to come for me. But anyway, so Tree Dog pointing out, and this is, so Hill has success as a head coach already. That's a good reminder, because I know, I mean, he spent time at BYU
and not as a head coach,
but as a
Weber
head
State.
coach, it
Weber
was
State.
Weber State for 8 years.
Can't say I'm going to qualify that. It's a lower tier program, man. But clearly he has some experience, I suppose, but I just think he'll be ready. So, all right, to that point, Tree Dog, Weber State, right? I think we would all agree, not quite on the level of a blue blood program, but that's what I mean. Listen, again, I don't know this, speculative as hell, but I'm going to tell you, I do well in these areas. I think he's head coach in Whittingham, and I think Kyle Whittingham has discussed getting him ready, and I think he has 5 years to get ready, and I think he will be the next coach at Michigan.
You heard it here first, folks.
With the caveat, things go well.
Exactly. Thank you. 23 tails with the 5. Maybe this year, when it's a dumb penalty, coaches pull the player, unlike last year when walking off field. Well, that's an opinion. I may be wrong. I think you can expect that real discipline is going to happen.
Listen, something I know for a fact, there was some lack of discipline last year. Well, we all know that, but I mean, I'm talking about talking back to coaches. I'm talking about not showing up on time for practice, for weightlifting. I'm going to tell you, there was a comment made by Jay Hill that I feel was missed by many. There were some class issues, you know what I mean? That's not flying this year. It's not flying. So, and by all accounts, the players are real receptive. By all accounts, the players and parents are excited about the direction. So it's good, man. The vibes, let's just put this, vibes are good right now. Vibes are good.
And Rod Moore, I think that's another reason that I'm really happy Rod Moore is back, because Rod Moore was a member of the 23 class and knows what it was like to have discipline and to, so I think that Whittingham and Hill and Beck will be able to lean on players like that, who also were part of a very winning culture, accountability, both at the player level and at the coach level. So I think that that's also going to help a lot.
Dude, is anyone else sitting here like I am, just fucking excited, bro? Like I don't know, man. I feel good about it. I have not felt this good about things since 23. Actually, let me just check myself. Oh, that's not true. When we got Bryce Underwood, I was pretty damn I was amped. It feels right, man. I'm just gonna be real. It feels right. It feels good. We'll see though. We're gonna find out. I'm excited, dude. Like when I think about it, you ever just sit there and think about this shit? Like just give it like a good 40 seconds, 30 seconds of thought, like this offense, this coaching staff. And like you can feel the excitement, bro. Like you're not like, sometimes you'll challenge yourself, right? You'll be no, F that. If it seems right. It seems right.
Tom Bouchard saying happy birthday to Moose and GT.
Hell yeah, Tom. Hell yeah. Thank you, Tom. Shout out to the boys.
Yeah, Moose and GT.
It's true.
Let us know.
Dude, GT's post should have been a super chat. He goes, Bryce's hard throws cost Samaj Morgan the Heisman last year. You hate to see it. GT.
Listen, remember when that was an actual topic of discussion, that Bryce was throwing too hard and Samaj couldn't come down? Remember when that was seriously being talked about by real media? By journalists?
There's some fans right now saying they were hard throws. Then you're not an NFL wide receiver.
No.
Because Matt Stafford's going to break your fucking finger ass Megatron. Okay, like I'm just letting you know right now, good wide receivers, catch those. Now, no one's saying Bryce can't put a little touch on it. But boys, these NFL quarterbacks throw bullets. And Bryce has an NFL arm in terms of power. His accuracy has to get better this year. Mechanics have to get better this year. But that was overblown. We had receivers who couldn't fucking catch. That was the problem. Dude, there was some touch passes that they dropped, so that shit blew my mind, bro. Like then guess what? They are not blue blood, power 4, quality receivers. They're just not, respectfully.
We got Moai is commenting. I'm stoked. There's Courtney. And I think it was last week that when Quinn was saying that he just got engaged. And we congratulated him. And he was saying that one of the first things that happened was that his current fiance adopted the Michigan program and rivalry. Right. And one of the first things Courtney did was she started saying, fuck Ohio. She started saying, go blue. She started, wearing the shirts and like cooking crab dip and lasagna when we were up, when we were down, all of that stuff.
Drawing F. Ryan Day on pizzas. Dude, yeah. What a keeper, bro. That's how. Hey, listen. Hey, you want to know a true test to your partner? Do they support your sports teams?
Yep.
Now, I'm not trying to put no one on blast because I'm sure this why is not interested in it. But that's how you know you got a good one, bro. Because they're that's a rider. That's a fucking rider, bro. So shout out to you. Shout out to Quinn, man.
Absolutely. Michigander has been a member for 12 months, folks. That's awesome. That's a whole year. I heard some good recruiting news. The guys that took their visits during last week's practice said that things look more positive, especially on offense. The skilled guys are more interested than before.
That's right. That's actually 100% accurate. That's 100% accurate. And yeah, again, why things feel right, because you're hearing it from those observing practice who are not necessarily Michigan. You're like, well, of course they'll say nice things. If you've been paying attention, the comments are, let's just say this, comments have weight, and some comments have more than others, and you can tell the difference in comments, especially for the offensive skill players.
Yeah. They are going to want to, I think some are definitely going to want to see progress on the field. And not just in practice, but like actually in game.
Well, I'm gonna give you a wide receiver who's gonna want that. When we talk about the recruiting update, I got the wide receiver that we have to impress with production. So let me know when we're doing recruiting updates.
For sure. Got a couple more here. Dane the Beautiful Monster says, this show is hilarious. I spilled my Merlot on my shrimp cocktail.
Ballin'. Hey, enjoy the show.
What's
man. That's what we're here for. Hey, we're here for that. Get another glass.
That's what's up. And thank you to Moose for reminding people to become a member. It's really easy. You've got the button all kinds of places, and we will be. I do think that I might run a watch party for March Madness at some point for members.
Nice, dude. So, I checked just a few days ago. Our off-season member count is really healthy. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. We appreciate it. The community's great. You guys support us. We appreciate that. We do feel the love. And listen, man, we're here for the journey. We're here to enjoy it. And listen, John will not be here for spring game. I will be here for spring game. Maze Madman, if you guys support him, Johnny Olden, Maniac, we'll be at the spring game. Looking forward to meeting you guys if we have not met yet. For those that I do know going to spring game, can't wait to meet you. Should be a good time.
Absolutely. Last thing, and then we'll get to our recruiting news. So we do want to, of course, thank one more time our friends at Freedom Services EPC. Quality you can trust, people you can count on, serving all of the USA's oil and gas needs. Check them out at freedomservicesepc.com. Appreciate that. All right. What's the what?
There's a player that I did not mention in the spring update.
Whoop.
Dude, you know who a channel favorite is? It's Jalen Powell.
Yeah.
Apparently he's caught some attention. Let's just put it that way.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, and I'm gonna tell you, and Garrison will tell you, yo, his film's fucking nice. He got disrespected in the rankings.
He did.
Man.
We've said that over and over on here.
The rankings are wild. Yeah. Dane Weber. We're going to talk about Dane Weber. We got a lot to talk about. Recruiting update and Michigander knows ball, because that's exactly who I was talking about, Michigander. Dakota Guran, which we'll get into that as well.
So why don't we jump in?
Listen, in the off season, we'll work to get Jalen back on, see how things are going for him. Let him get acclimated with he's busy.
Yeah. We'd love to have him. Yeah.
Good kid, man. Good kid. Happy to hear it, honestly. So it's good.
All right. So obviously, we started this show with the very exciting news about Daryl Madison being the first major commit in the Kyle Whittingham era. But they are on the move, on the recruiting trail, the coaching staff. Ron Bellamy already putting in work, apparently. So love to hear some of the names that you've got circulating. People we should be aware of.
Yeah, look, and that's what this show's for, right? We want to bring awareness and attention to the players you need to know about. Our goal is not to bring fluff. It's not to overhype anything. It's to be, and you're like, well, shit, you got Daryl Madison. You were pretty hype. Kid's going to be good. But look, here's the players we need to talk about. The very first player we're going to talk about is Camden Lapati. You're like, damn, we talked about him a lot. Well, there's news, and you need to know, because it is my opinion, and I'm sure there's some others who agree. So I'm not on a ledge here like my Jay Hill take, but Camden Lapati is, in my opinion, will be the quarterback of the 26 class. He's committed to Illinois right now. He's not committed to Michigan. There's another quarterback who visited today, which we're going to talk about. But Camden Lapati, who is from Salt Lake, Utah, seems like there's some familiarity there, John. He is going to be visiting Michigan April 3rd through the 5th, and will be doing his official visit on the 19th of June. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I was a betting man, which sometimes I am, I think he's going to commit to us after that official visit. That's my bet. That's how I'm reading the tea leaves, and nothing's guaranteed. Obviously, we could not get him, but I'm going to tell you, it is of my opinion, he's who the coaches want, and I think we're going to get him. Dane Weber is the next quarterback, John. And the reason we're not showing the huddle tape of Lapati is I assure you there'll be more opportunity, and we've already shown it a few times.
Yeah.
Dane Weber, another quarterback we have shown a huddle tape on before, visited today. Today was his visit. Obviously, we don't have the post-visit update or anything, but this is the other quarterback that Michigan has identified in the 27 class that they feel fits their system and what they're trying to build. Interesting, I will say personally, in my opinion, Camden Lapati is here. Dane Weber is below that. I just don't see the same player. And to be quite honest with you, this is, again, my opinion. If we happen to swing and miss on Camden Lapati, I would hope I personally do hope they go in a different direction. Not because I don't think Dane Weber's a quality quarterback. I just don't think he's a championship caliber prospect. And that's what I'm after. Personally. Doesn't mean he can't develop into one, but for me, when I look at the tape, I got more to be desired for me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's important to be going after the best, most talented quarterbacks that you can, right, at a program like Michigan. However, I also think that we don't want to suffer from Matt Weiss syndrome.
Right.
And I mean that in one particular way.
You mean hacking computers, John?
I don't mean about hacking computers. I mean about, focusing entirely on one quarterback.
That's right. All eggs in one basket.
And it either happens or it doesn't. It screwed us multiple years. And now they're looking at two. So I think that's great.
Hey, sometimes you got to let her know you're talking to other girls. You know what I'm saying? It's this way she doesn't think. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All right. So our next player we're going to talk about, it's the number one player in the state of Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, Dakota Guran, which we do have the huddle tape for.
Yeah, we do.
I'm going to tell you, there was some, I would say in February, the vibe was Dakota Guran was not even in the picture. The Ron Bellamy hire, in my opinion, and I'm not the only one who has said this, we're back. Now, to the point we kind of hit on earlier, what is one of the biggest gaps for Michigan? Guys, Dakota Guran wants to, look at this kid. This is a 5-star. Let me just talk about Dakota Guran before I talk about the dynamic here. 5-star, number one player in the state of Michigan. Yeah. this kid is. We are going to be celebrating like a Savion Hyder. I mean, actually, I don't want to go that far. I don't want to say Savion Hyder because Savion Hyder is one of the best running back recruits. But I mean, he's a fucking Sunday player. This kid's going first round. This is a first round talented wide receiver. This is the type of kid Ohio State gets. This is the type of kid Oregon gets. This is the type of kid the high powered off LSU. You see it. The film's telling you. I don't even got to say anything. We could sit here and just like if the Michigan can pull this off, this is a home run. This is. Arguably, we're still developing our prospect board, but arguably the top of the food chain. This kid he's a Sunday talent. He's a Sunday talent, and he's not only going to be a Sunday talent, that's a first round talent. What's his 100-meter? I don't know if I have that, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can even find it.
I will say that just some of the moves that he's making in high school are moves that you don't usually see kids make or players make until college or even beyond, right? Some of the jukes and the moves that the little, just because you can dramatically impact a defender's ability to get you with just a little bit of jerking and movement in just the right way. You can see that Dakota Guran has that ability to just force a defender to just go in stride in the other direction so that he can go to the end zone.
So they do have his 100. They do have his 100-meter time. Fuck that. It ain't accurate. I'm not even reading it. It's not accurate. He's not running 13 seconds in 100 meters. He's not. This kid almost looks sub 11. So I don't know what that is. But whatever. That's what it is. So I would argue he's definitely running. Looks like a 10-8 to me. Like a 10-8 kid. I could be wrong. If anything, he's 11 flat. I mean, but he's you could even argue he might be a 10-7 guy. But he's like Nico Collins, boys. Like this is like a Nico Collins like type receiver. I almost see some like, I know this is some crazy praise, but some Calvin Johnson like and he's not Megatron, but you get my point. We're talking a fucking true alpha. But yeah, listen, now look, now let's talk about the Ron Bellamy dynamic. Well, guess who has a great relationship with? He does not look slow. You're on crack. Lay off crack. Bro's burning the fucking. Oh, he's slow. Look at him slow down and catch it. Yeah, he's slow. He ain't slow. He had to slow down just catch the ball. Listen, the dynamic with Ron Bellamy, he has a great relationship with Ron Bellamy. So this is going to be, this is going to come down to the relationship with Ron Bellamy, and this is going to come down to the production this offense can produce. And if this offense can be that top 30 offense, and if the scoring offense, look, last year Utah's scoring offense was top 5 in the nation. If the scoring offense can produce, which I do think it will, I think Michigan has what it takes. And not only that, he doesn't live far. Michigan's going to get him on campus. Michigan's going to have tons of opportunity to convince this kid. And I feel confident, don't know this, speculation, NIL's going to be fine. This is hilarious. Old boy here says he runs a 12 flat 100 meter. You guys are on fucking crack, bro. Okay? Like, I watch a lot of film. Yeah, okay. 12, get the fuck out of here. That's a sub 11 kid, dude. He's just burning the whole field. What are you talking about? If anything, he's running 11.3. He's at worst 11.3, and he ain't 11.3. Oh, he's slow.
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
That's slow,
bro. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you think he's slow, save the evaluations for the professionals. All right, because you don't got it. Anyways, all right. So
yeah.
Next wide receiver we're gonna talk about respectfully. Quentin Burrell, okay? Quentin Burrell is another top 100 player. I think he's ranked 75 in the nation right now. 15th overall wide receiver, 6'3", X-type wide receiver out of Chicago, Illinois. This is another one that with the Ron Bellamy, another wide receiver who had a strong relationship with Ron. There is a part of me, I didn't mention this earlier, there's a part of me that one of the reasons they wanted Ron back is simply because of these, like, I mean, I think we know this, but I think there's more weight to the fact that he had, when he was here, Michigan's position in their recruitment was higher. And I think they see an opportunity to capitalize on that, not only his connections to Michigan and Detroit and the Midwest, but I think they see these cornerstone players, these players you can build around, your class around. I think they see an opportunity for Ron Bellamy to really capitalize, and that's what they're going to try to accomplish. So this is another big time receiver, not as good as Dakota Guran, but a very quality receiver. And I think, do you have 10-7? Does someone have? Tell me if that's official. But because I swear to God, I'll make a whole video on this shit if you want it. Just roasting people thinking he's slow. And then so that's where we are there with recruiting. Now I do have one more player though, and this is big time. And we have a huddle tape.
We do.
Marcus Fakatua. I don't even know. Somebody. Yeah, I mean, listen. I'm sure at some point I'll learn. Boys, we have talked about this player before. What we do know is this. He hates quarterbacks, and he feels disrespected if you run up his gap. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Listen, this is a 5-star, 6'6", 275-pound defensive lineman as a junior. Michigan is believed to be the front runner in this recruitment. One of our biggest oppositions is Notre Dame. The coaches have already put in resources to see him in person, but here's the good news. He just moved up his visit, and he's going to be here on March 27th, and he's going to be here for not just one day, but 2 days. And not only that, John, he's still, from my understanding, planning on being here for the spring game. I'm going to be honest. I also feel very confident in this one. Everything seems to be pointing in the right direction, and Michigan's doing an absolutely, and the number 2 defensive tackle in the nation. What is his official rank overall? I should have this for you guys, so I do apologize. Let me pull it up extra quick. So he is
number
ranked
35.
35 in the nation is where they got. Yeah, that's in the composite. 35 in the nation, number 2 defensive lineman. Dude, they have him as number 2 defensive lineman, not only just the defensive tackle, which is interesting. And now obviously edges are in a different rank, but still, you get your hybrids mixed into that. But man, I mean, look, Michigan's doing well here. This is, in my opinion, we would label this a must get. This is on the level of Dakota Guran as well. This is a cornerstone player. This is one of the. It does appear this is possibly, I don't know this for sure because again, recruiting is just picking up, but this very well could be the top player on their board on defensive side of the ball. And you love to see Michigan really focusing on the trenches. We know we have a gap in our defensive line recruiting. Like now, listen, Titan Davis, Alistair Vallejo looks good, but we're talking about present. You look at last year's defensive line class. Let's see how this year's defensive line class comes together. But you may be looking at a very strong and healthy defensive line room. It's definitely promising, and I'm pretty excited about this, John. I mean, this is a big-time player.
Yeah, I think this is the exact type of player that, this is a player that's going to be sought after by everybody, sought after by Georgia, sought after by Ohio State.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time.
But so I want to see, can Kyle Whittingham, can Michigan win? Like, I want to see, can they beat out Ohio State? Can they beat out Georgia and Notre Dame? And the previous coaching staff, the one thing that we can agree is that they did sometimes beat out Ohio State and Georgia. And like that is something that they did successfully, right? Obviously beat out, they snagged Bryce Underwood from LSU. So like that was a positive aspect of the last staff. And so can Whittingham and squad, can they emulate that? I think that they can. I think that they've been waiting for this shot to be at a massive program like Michigan, to be at a resource and talent rich program. And I think that they did a lot with less at Utah and BYU.
So Michigan's rough estimate of their salary, okay, is anywhere from 35 to 40 million right now. Their roster. The belief is with the 27 class, they're going to be touching 40 million. So the resources are there. Mm-hmm. And I feel confident that Michigan's going to have a very strong and healthy class. Now, obviously, we're a little slow right now because they're trying. They got to catch up, and not only that, they're reaching out to players that they weren't reaching out to at Utah. Right? There's a new level of caliber of player that they're now. Dakota Guran was not going to Utah. Okay,
No.
So they got some catching up to do. So we'll see where it goes. Now, my boy, not that kind of doctor, is telling me, according to his huddle, he runs a 10.7. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's a sub-11 runner. And if you can't see that, well, keep watching film. You'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he's fast. I think he's... Do I think he's the fastest I've ever seen? No. But do I think he's legitimately fast? Yes.
All right. Let's put it into context. A sub-11 100-meter runner is considered elite at the college level.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all you need to know. Now, listen, when you start talking like 10.55s, which was my guy from LSU that we lost that we really wanted. Fuck, I can't remember his name. He was sweet. Xavier Worthy was a 10.55 runner. To give you reference here, right? Roman Wilson, I think yes, it was Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson was a 10.72 runner. What was my guy from Chicago, Illinois who transferred to Northwestern? Why am I forgetting his name right now? AJ Henny. AJ Henny was a 10.68 runner.
Wow.
Look,
Philip Wright, the LSU guy. Yeah.
Thank you, Keegan. Thank you. Fuck. Oh, I'm sad now. I miss Philip Wright. It is what it is. We keep moving. But so look, end of the day, he's a sub-11 runner. He pops on film. I don't know. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Very. I'm glad they're taking shots, and I think that
10.7 is sub-11.
10.7
is sub-11.
Yeah. The point is, I think that Ron Bellamy was a missing piece that was needed. I don't think sorely, but definitely needed to continue some of these relationships with some of the better wide receiver talent and other talent. I think that now you have a fully formed staff. You have the people who have the pipelines everywhere. So I'm pretty happy with what they've put together, and I'm even happier with the on the field because Brady Hoke could recruit.
Yes, he could. That's right.
Remember?
Shit. Yes, he could. Top 5 classes.
Brady Hoke could recruit some classes.
I remember.
But when Brady Hoke walked into those rooms and into the film sessions or whatever, everybody's laughing, everybody's clapping.
As a player's coach.
Jim Harbaugh walks into those rooms and it's silent.
Why?
Why? Because we only clap when we win. That's right, folks. We only clap when we win. So that's the mentality that I think Michigan's back to now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, you know what's funny is I'm a firm believer in I like coaches who are not players coaches.
Yeah.
That shit's cool for a minute.
Sure.
Right? Now you don't want a coach who's out of touch either. Like there is a balance, clearly.
Right.
But at the end of the day, a coach needs to be a coach. Okay? You're teaching, growing, and developing young men. They need guidance. Right. They need structure. They need organization. And they need to be coached. Okay? They don't need a buddy. They don't need a friend. That shit ain't sweet. That shit ain't. As a position coach, yeah, you could be more player friendly because that's, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to hold the standard. You got to set the bar. And if it's if it's being disrespected or not held, which the previous staff that occurred, then you're going to have dysfunction. You're going to have players taking advantage or not taking it seriously, man. And it's a bad culture. You don't want that. So thankfully, now here's the good news though. The culture didn't get contaminated. It wasn't awful. It just was going in the wrong direction. Thankfully, we have a staff that was going to correct it. Right. So yeah, man. I mean, look, again, a lot to be excited about. Let me say this to the audience, actually. Let us know in the chat. Listen, it's early. and let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? But is this staff meeting or exceeding your early expectations at this point in the season, given what we have? Obviously, listen, we haven't played ball yet. We haven't seen the spring game. There's things we've yet to see. But given the fact that we are about a week and a half into spring, actually, we were only a week into spring practice. Things we're hearing, things you're seeing. Is Michigan, the new staff, the new direction, are they meeting or are they exceeding your expectations? Because I'm going to be honest with you. They're slightly exceeding my expectations right now, which I'm very happy. I mean, I anticipated it'd be like this, but I did not realize how quickly it would be like this. You know what I mean? Just the vibe, there's so many different accounts from people who are at practice, from players visiting practice, from just what we're hearing from different viewpoints, things I've heard from players' parents. It's encouraging, man.
So the people have said so far exceeding. It's 70-30 exceeding.
Damn, John, hell yeah.
And we're gonna keep that poll up till the end of the show, and we'll report back once some more people have voted. Exceeding now that Bellamy's back. Thanks a lot. Not that kind of doctor. Not that kind of doctor. All right. Well, why don't we tackle little hoops? Because the Whittingham staff isn't the only staff that's setting up for success here. We also have the Dusty May and company staff, and Michigan is about to face Alabama in the Sweet 16. So TJ, do you think that the team has kind of rallied at the right time? Because I do feel like there was some rust. I think they still weren't quite sure how they were going to execute without LJ. And then the last two games, especially this last one, it feels like they've turned it on more. It just feels like they've been on it more. What have you been seeing?
Well, all right, look. So I think the team went through an adjustment period losing LJ. And I also think, unfortunately, the team didn't take Purdue serious enough. We should not have lost that game. But here we are, March Madness. Let's move forward, right? I would agree. I think they have found their rhythm. The good thing is we had almost the perfect two warm-ups, right? They were teams that were not bullies, but the first team we played, right? Howard wasn't necessarily a test, but it was a good warm-up.
The Howard Bison, yeah.
St. Louis, the Bilkins, whatever the hell that is. The type of team that could get you if you're not ready, right? The type of team, but we were ready. We honestly
checked. Hey, I love that there was a guy with glasses and he was banging threes. I love that. Bro,
he is the March Madness legend you hope for every year, right? He's a little special, unique guy. But now we got Alabama, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Michigan's gonna cook them. I'm not trying to be overconfident. I watched Alabama. I was actually trying to find where I feel like they could get us. And I just think our size, our athleticism, I think we're going to be okay. We're a tough team to beat. But in my opinion, the team that has my eye, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, I guess we hit on Alabama real quick. Like you said, John, earlier in the show, it's now a 9.5 spread. It opened at 10.5. They do have a player, what is it? Philon, the Baron, Philon, like whatever. The kid's averaging 20 a game. Quality player. Someone Michigan has to definitely check. He's a 6'4" guard, has ability. And they got to make sure he doesn't get hot from three. He's a 40% 3-point shooter. Because here's the other thing too about Alabama. They've lost their second best player, right? For anyone who doesn't know, he got caught in the case. And now he's gone. So unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Just like we lost LJ Case on, you let the cards fall where they fall. So listen, I feel confident Michigan's going to be okay here. I do see us moving on. The question is then, John, the Elite Eight, and that's Iowa State. And I'm going to be honest with you. I also watched Iowa State. They give me some pause. I think Iowa State's a quality team. And then if we make it to the Final Four, which I'm going to be honest, I kind of hope Purdue handles fucking business against Arizona, but Arizona also concerns me. Arizona's a good team. So for me,
Arizona's my worry. Arizona and ISU to an extent, but Arizona's the one that I'm like, I have my eye on. Is like, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, no, Arizona is actually them. All right, so the teams we need to be aware of. Now, listen, we can't look past Alabama. The boys got to be locked in. But again, I feel we're going to be okay personally. I really do. But what we got to look for going forward, in my opinion, is Iowa State in the Elite Eight, Arizona in the Final Four. If we get Purdue, I hope we smack them. Sons of bitches, taking our Big Ten tournament title away from us. And then we look at the other side of the bracket, the championship contenders, John. This is what I want to get into. Look at Duke. Listen, Duke is also a team that, listen, they bid us. They got us. And I do think Duke, now they lost their starting point guard. So that obviously helps, but they're a good team. And Michigan State and Duke look to be on a collision course, although shit, UConn and St. John's, they ain't sleeping either. But I will say, John, what I wanted to really get to, and then let me also just stress this. I'm not concerned about Nebraska. I am not concerned about Iowa, respectful to them. Then you have Illinois and Houston. I'm not worried about it. They don't concern me. The teams that worry me, we talked about Iowa State, Arizona, Duke, Michigan State we're going to get to. And not that I'm worried about it either. But let's get to it. Here's what I'm hoping, John.
Yeah.
I want a national championship, Michigan versus Michigan State. That is what I'm rooting for. I want all the chips on the table. I want bragging rights for a decade. I want to stop Izzo from getting a second national title. I want that smoke. That's what I want. I want that game. That's what I'm rooting for. So I am hoping we see a battle of the in-state rivals in the national championship game, and I want to rub fucking Spartan's nose in it because they talk a lot of shit. Let me also just say this too. You know what's blown? I'm gonna go a little off topic, but on topic. Why? Let me know in the chat. Are they comparing Jeremy I flop because it's a Tuesday fears to Ade Mara? And who's the other player? What was it? Maybe Merez Johnson. I'm not even sure.
Johnson.
They want to act like our players are dirty, or our players. Not even that they were dirty. I guess it is a little, yeah, because Ade Mara stopped a player who had an open path to the basket. He pulled on his shoulder, but it wasn't nothing. Whatever. Like, why are state fans trying to compare Jeremy Fears to Ade Mara? Let me see if I can even find who the other player was. Like, I couldn't even comprehend this. Like, I've watched a lot of Michigan basketball. I've been to Michigan basketball games. Shout out to my boy Alex. Let's see. Like, what is that, chat? Do we have any idea why the Spartans are trying to compare Jeremy Fears, who is everything you hate about the NBA, to our guys? Who is dirty on our fucking team? I don't even understand this. It blows my mind. Actually, it's right here. Let's see. Okay, so they say, because I put this, Yaxel Landenborg and Ade Mara. Are we even in the same realm? When has Yaxel Landenborg done anything dirty? When has he flopped? When has he foul baited? I don't see that in Yaxel's game. I watch Ade Mara. I don't see that in his game. He ain't flopping. He ain't foul baiting.
They just ball.
Right. So why are they comparing Jeremy Fears to that? Like, is that your fucking argument? That fan base is something else, bro. And then I had Spiro come at me.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Friend of the program, Justin Spiro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he say?
Fucking well, so he didn't have anything to say because he knows as well as everybody knows Jeremy Fears is on that bullshit. But he mentions my take on Connor Stallions on the Central Michigan sideline. That's what he brought to the table. That's the ammunition he brought to the table, John, was my position that until it is proven it's Connor Stallions, it's hope. That's all I said, John. That's all I said. Now time reveals all. We found out it was good old Connor Stallions doing his best to help Central Michigan beat another team. He just likes to help people. There's nothing wrong with that. Kind of stands.
Yeah. He's helping.
He likes to help friends. Do we hate people? Are we not? Is this not America? Do we not help our neighbor? The fuck are we doing?
But, I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
Yeah, bro. Justice Field's trying to come at me because the day the news broke, I said until it's proven, and I said Connor Sands doesn't have hair. He doesn't have hair. No lies told. He just wore a nice disguise. Good for him. But end of the day, I don't understand the comparisons between Fears and our players. I don't even think it's. I think it just shows how down bad that fan base really is, bro. I'm just gonna say that right now. It actually, like, let me just say this: if we had a player, if Michigan had a player pulling that shit, I'd call it out. I don't like that stuff. That is everything I dislike about the game.
Yep,
it's garbage. It's fucking garbage, bro. Like, listen, did we not call out Samaj Morgan?
Oh,
do we not call
we
out?
Did. Oh, I think we did.
Why are the rivals? Why are the rivals? And I'm talking specifically Little Brother. Why is Little Brother so anti calling out their own? They are anti-accountability. What is that? I don't understand. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
It would be a beautiful thing to have a national championship and the chanting Little Brother would just be beautiful.
Bro, and listen, I'm gonna say this too about Tom Izzo, because there's a great debate on Twitter, and I know fans like to get under each other's skin and say things that they don't actually even mean. Listen, Tom Izzo is a legendary coach. Okay, Tom Izzo is one of the greats, but Tom Izzo today is not the same Tom Izzo of old. Tom Izzo today likes to cry and whine and complain a lot. Now he's always yelled at the refs, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually believe in that. You got to work the refs as a coach. That's your responsibility. That's actually a thing coaches need to do. But we have Michigan fans saying he's not good. He's a legendary coach. Okay. But end of the day, I would love the opportunity for Michigan to stop him from a second national title in 20 plus years.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know? Be effing hilarious.
Be a beautiful thing.
Bro, if we beat Michigan State at the program, because they're a basketball school, they all acknowledge this, right? And listen, here, I'm gonna listen. Just as we give respect to Ohio State's program, although it's F them,
yeah,
their basketball program is, historically a little more accomplished than ours. It's more accomplished than ours. They have 2 national championships. It'd be nice to tie them. They have a few more, they have a few more appearances in certain areas. They've made more tournaments, etc. It'd be great to step on them respectfully in the sport that they claim to be better than us in. It'd be one of the best FUs we could give them.
Yeah, I mean, their football program has been the shitter the last few years, but
it's a MAC
level. Their basketball program has performed pretty well. And obviously, Izzo,
it's a quality. Listen,
had some, Final Fours and some and the Natty.
Here's where I will give my respect to Michigan State. They got a blue blood basketball program. I respect that.
Sure,
but I don't like you.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? So that would be a really great finale.
All right, and that's all right, and we'll close it here. But can you imagine, as a Michigan fan, we get to the national title game, the shit talking? If you are not on Twitter, you're missing out. We are gonna have a great time. That's gonna be a great time leading up to that game, and then imagine the game, imagine the intensity. It would mean so much to go against Michigan State in the national title game. Any national title game, every pass, every shot is going to matter, right? But that game, in my opinion, will mean that much more. I want it. I'm all for it.
Can't wait. So we'll be watching that closely. And can Michigan contain Fallon Jr. and these other players with the Alabama Crimson Tide? I think that they can. I think TJ thinks that they can, and we'll get to that Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And obviously expect some more discussion and maybe some more LeBron or Michael Jackson, as Courtney says, whoever the GOAT might be, because Thursday night we should have a call-in show.
Yeah. So funny. The reason we didn't have one last week is because TJ doesn't look at the schedule.
There's a game.
So the good news is Michigan plays Friday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the call-in show Thursday. We're gonna have the games on. We'll do a little watching some March Madness while we do it. We are gonna do the call-in show. I assure you we will do it this Thursday. Apologies, because I was actually thinking to myself, I feel bad for telling y'all we're gonna have a show and we don't do one. It's kind of messed up. I will try to be better regarding that. I will try to be better. I apologize. Forgive me. But this Thursday we will have a show. I completely botched. I was like, we can't do a show during the game because I'll be honest with you, I got to lock in. I'm locking in. I have a responsibility as a fan to give all my energy to my team, and that's what I do. I lock the fuck in. So I don't. That's why John does the watch parties. You notice, because I really like just locking that in on my games. I love my teams, man.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you guys want a members watch party for basketball, let us know in the chat. Let us know on the various DMs and community.
Yeah.
If we get some interest in a members basketball watch party, we'll do one. If not for the Bama game, potentially in the future. So we'll see. Let me know what you think. Also, the poll with 63 people voting, is this coaching exceeding, meeting, or underperforming? 73% says exceeding.
Hell yeah, man. And now, granted, there's a rival saying it's early. We're saying to this point of the offseason, I agree. The moves they're making with the front office, I know it's so funny to say that in college. I'm coining it. I don't give a shit. And what we're seeing in terms of, damn, I don't know, man. I say yes. I'm hard. I'm a hard to please, John.
Same.
Brad Holmes is pissing me off right now for the Detroit Lions. Steve Eiserman's letting me down for you know what I mean? I'm hard on my teams. I'm very hard on my team. But I mean, I'm not unrealistic. I know they can do more. I know the Red Wings can do more. I know the Lions can do a little more. But injuries are a real thing, though. But at the end of the day, I know Sharon Moore should have did more. So we know Ward Manuel can do more. So we hold our teams to a high standard. And as you should, as long as it's not unrealistic. And now some people may say, it's realistic. Well, call in Thursday and let's debate it.
Boom. There it is. Yeah, call us in. Thursday night's a great opportunity to give your take, and then we'll see if people want that members only watch party for basketball, and we'll check it out. So so for the other, by the way, 25% said meeting expectations, and 2%. I'd like to talk to those 2% who said underperforming, because
Buckeyes.
let's have a probably Buckeyes.
I would love to know the percentage of Michigan fans who voted underperforming.
Yeah.
Solid,
Probably some Buckeyes, but maybe not. There are some naysayers in here too.
There's a 2% margin of error in this poll. Those votes.
That's it. 2% margin of error. I love it. All right, folks. Well, yet again, 2 hours, as expected, with the amount of content we have.
Yeah, dude. Did we not say a 2-hour show? We were like, this is about to be a 2-hour show for sure.
We did. We definitely thought this one would be 2, and it was. And a big, thank you to everybody who contributed. Thank you to everybody who, thank you to FanDuel and Freedom Services and everybody who's part of this. And of course, happy birthday, Moose and GT, 2 of our longest running community members.
And also the fans who promote us. I see a Jay, shout out, Moose, shout out. Everyone else who has promoted us, thank you. I see you on Twitter as well. Thank you.
We see you.
It means a lot. It really means a lot, man. So just thank you. And our goal is to just keep bringing you guys the best content we can. and enjoy the journey, because that's what we're on. As fans, we are on the journey with the team. Cannot wait. Should be a good year, boys.
Boom. So as always, check us out on X at TJ_Ronin, at John D'Adamo. We give our takes there. We'll take DMs if you're a member, especially like you have feedback for us, as let us know. And then we always wrap up the show by thanking all 200 of our members. So you'll see your names on here and everything. If you just joined in the last day or two, it may not be on there yet, but I promise I'll get it up. And that's that. Any final thoughts before we wrap here?
First of all, let's enjoy this tournament run right now, because men and women's, shout out to that. We didn't even mention the women's making the Sweet 16 also. Dude, not many, and not many. And we talked about this. Like, this is what's great about being a Michigan fan. We are an everything school. You got the hockey team balling. You got the basketball team looking national natty or bust. I got some pushback on that, John. People are like, oh, it's not natty or bust. We win a natty, you're going to have a different opinion. But anyways, my point is, let's enjoy this point of the year where we get to enjoy March Madness. Tell me it hasn't been fun. I've been having a great time. I didn't even do any brackets this year because I just wanted to enjoy it. The women's basketball team, shout out to them. The men's hockey team, we're about to get into the Frozen Four. Those games are about to start. That's about to be a great time. We have a good team, by the way, boys. Pay attention to the hockey team. Very worth your attention. And now we got spring practice intel. Tell me it's not making your work day better. I know it is, because it's making mine better. And then we got spring game next month. This is a good time to be a Michigan fan. Let's enjoy it.
And I only have one question. Who's got it better than us?
Not little brother. Nobody, John.
Nobody. You're goddamn right. All right, folks. That's going to do it. We'll see you Thursday night for the call-in show. And until next time, it's always go blue. Fuck Ohio.
That's right. I was going to say that too. Fuck Ohio.
And we'll see you soon.
Respectfully.